Hi, welcome to Beiriger Knits. My name is Brittany. Thank you for joining me on my little channel where I like to talk about all of my primarily knitting and some crochet. Today is episode 47. I appreciate you spending some time with me today or tonight, whenever it is. It's getting late at night my time. It's about 8 p.m. So it has been probably pushing 3 weeks since my last episode. I've been trying to keep it within 2 weeks, but that's just not what happened this time. So today I would like to show you about 7 finished objects. 6 of them are on my knitting machine, which I went through a crazy obsession with this past couple of weeks. Cannot wait to show you those. But the first I want to show you is this pair of socks. The last time you saw these on the last episode, I said that they were a gift for my sister-in-law for Christmas. Once my husband saw them, he said, no, you have to keep those. So these have ended up being for me. I love the way this yarn worked up. So this is the basic basic ankle sock or something, beginner ankle sock, I think is what it was called, from Knitting with Linda. I will link her and my project page below. This was super easy. It is a worsted weight sock. I absolutely loved the way this worked out. There's only one size available. So in a worsted weight, you cast on 40 and then you do however many inches she says. It's a free pattern. I believe it was 2 inches for the cuff. Mine are about 15 rounds of 2x2 rib. You do a few rounds before the heel. I think I did 4 rounds before the heel, and then I did a heel flap and gusset and worked until I was ready to do the toe. Now for me, the 40 stitch cast on is a little big. I believe she uses a 4.5 size 7 4.5 I keep wanting to say meter. It's not meter. 7.5 millimeter. That's what it is. 7.5. I can't get it together. Size 7 4.5 millimeter knitting needle. So when I make these again, for me, I would probably go down a needle size or adjust the stitch count a little bit. So yeah, I super love these. Let me tell you about the yarn. Let me see, I had them where they would stay up here on my blanket without ripping it down. That was kind of neat. So I was, because they're finished, they were in this bag by Susan of Delightful Works. I won this from last year's Warm Ears Mail hosted by Chit Knits, which I'll get into in a minute for the hat. But I can't remember how many grams I used for the sock. All that information will be on my Ravelry page. If you don't use Ravelry and you are curious about anything, feel free to comment and I will answer. So the yarn was Plymouth Yarn Company Encore Color Spun. The color is Violet Mix, which is 8198. Hopefully that didn't turn out blurry. It is 75% acrylic and 25% wool. It is very cozy. It fits me really well, but the interesting thing is, for me, it's more of a slipper sock, so it fits right over another pair of socks and just fantastic. Love it. I think that was it. I've already taken my needles out because they're already in reuse somewhere else. Okay, so let's talk about my obsession with my knitting machine. So Darcy of Chit Chat Knits again was hosting the Warm Ears Mow, which is now over, but it gave me a great reason to get out my machine and do some knit hats for donation. So let me grab those. So the first one that I made, typically when I do these machine knit hats, I do the body and take them off and put them on knitting needles and do extra rounds for like a traditional crown decrease, such as the muscle burrow hat. But this is the first one I made, and I was just kind of playing around with it, so this side turned out really pointy, so I won't do that again. So this yarn is Karen Simply Soft in the color Strawberry. This is so incredibly soft. It's already been machine washed just to see how it would do. This was actually a really, it had been previously used yarn, so it really looked like a ramen noodle, very crinkly. And the washing machine did a fantastic job because previously it was totally obvious. But this turned out so well. This is for a child. This is a child size. I think I did about, I don't know, maybe 86 or 90 rounds on this. I don't remember exactly. Again, all of the information is on my project page for it. So this is a child hat, and it just folds right up. And again, here's the crown decrease. This is the correct one. I was playing around with the other one to see where I could get it, but I don't remember exactly what I did because once I realized it didn't turn out well, it wasn't bad enough to take out, but it was definitely not wanting to be redone. So if you are not familiar with the Muscle Burrow hat by Isolde Teague, I really like that pattern. It is you fold, you see I made the long tube, you fold it in on itself, and then you just fold up the brim, and there you have a little hat, and it is so adorable. If you wanted, you could add a pom-pom. I have not ever done that with any of mine, but you could. So cute. So that was one, and then I made another, whoops, I'm dropping hats all over the place here. Let's see. Then I made another hat in the same color for maybe a slightly older child. And I think I did 93 or 6 rounds on this one. Now this one I decided to not do the flat style beanie. I just decided to finish them off like most videos tell you with the knitting machines. And by the way, I have a Centro 48 pen is what I did these on. And this one also turned out really well after washing. And again, I can't remember, I say again, but I can't actually remember if I said this is Karen Simply Soft in the color Strawberry. So they're so soft. And then I made a third one using that yarn. This one is an adult size. And I think I may have done a little over 100 rounds on this. Again, I did not do the flat, crown decreases. I just finished it off and cinched it up. And there we go. And then I made another child size. This one turned out a little smaller than I thought, so I may either pick out one side of this and add rounds to it, or just leave it and it will be for a younger child. I did not think about the difference in the yarn. This one is with Red Heart Super Saver. I believe it's like dark navy or just navy or something like that. And it is a little thicker than the Karen Simply Soft. So it turned out a little small because I did the same amount of rounds, which I'm pretty sure was 93 or 6. and it just folds up too, and it softened up quite a bit in the washing machine as well. So these are all ready for donation. They will be nice and soft. Hopefully someone can get use out of them at some point. I'm sure here where I live they will. Okay, so there's another one. And this one, depending on the child, it could even be like, I tried it on Birdie to see how small it actually would be, and it fits her without being folded up. But depending on the child's age, it could be folded up like this or worn down like this. And the last one I made for donation is a men's hat. So here this one is. I think on this one I did the full 140 rounds, like most. I say most based on videos I've watched, but technically the pattern that I'm giving credit to in the YouTube video is from Crystal Martin, I believe her name is, and I think her channel is like Marching North or something, and it's the what is it called, machine knit beanie or something. Always linked below any projects I have again. So this one is for a male, or I mean female too, but that's what I had in mind for it. And this is also Red Heart Super Saver in the color Cafe Latte. This one may be slightly slouchy. I'm not sure about that, unless they do the brim up really, you know, far. And then I have one more. So when I was making all these, Birdie went to my yarn stash and she pulled out this orange yarn, and it's a mystery yarn from a bag my mother-in-law gave me. So I've just been holding on to it. I haven't done anything with it. But so anyway, Birdie brought me this orange yarn and said, I want to make turtle a hat on your machine. So we started that. It was too thin. I do think it is a fingering weight, and it was just dropping all over the place. So I said, that's too thin. Go pick out another color and we'll hold them together. So she did, and she came back with this blue. So we held them together in the machine. That was the first time I had done that. So this is a turtle's hat that we worked on together for him. And it's kind of neat the way that holding the yarns did. It almost turned out like two hats, because you see here, this side is folded up with the blue yarn. But then when you do it the other way, and this is much thicker, and it's also been washed and dried already, and which just really made the definition of the stitches like look much better. But then when you fold the hat up the other way, it's an orange brim. And he liked it really well and thought it was so thoughtful of his sister to want to make that for him. So that was really, really sweet and special. I was very happy for that. So next, I still want to make more hats on my machine. Like I said, it's like a current obsession. So I really want to do that. And then I have a little machine, the 22 pin Centro, that I want to get out and make headbands. Birdie has already requested a yellow one, of course. So hopefully I'll be getting that done soon. Let's see. Okay, now to works in progress. So since I ended up keeping my sister-in-law's socks, I went back to my stash. So this was a gift from my friend Leslie, and she'd actually given me 3 balls of this, the Plymouth Encore, but she had also given me this color, Plymouth Encore, and this is in the color, I looked it up, and I think it was maybe burgundy or something like that. I can't remember. It's linked in my Ravelry page. But this actually works out much better for my sister-in-law, I think, in this color. So I started her a new pair. I'm just on the first sock, which I'm in the middle of the picking up stitches on the side. So here it is, and everything is exactly the same except I moved it to longer needles. So here it is. It is a 15 round cuff, 4 rounds before the slip stitch heel flap and gusset. I just turned the heel, and now I am picking up. I've picked up these stitches. I'm about to work across the instep and then pick up these stitches, and then I'll go into the gusset decreases. But this is really such a fast project. I actually use it as my I don't really know what to call it. It's a nighttime project. Now, the next project I have is another pair of socks. So all of these socks I've been making, I made basically my husband's family, so I wanted to make socks for 2 nieces, which I've done, and then he's got 2 sisters. I've already completed 1 sister's. The socks I just showed you are the second sister's, but I also wanted to make his mom a pair. She's very, very knit-worthy. She also knits and crochets. She's the one that taught me to crochet, and so she loves everything that I make her. So, but I've never made her a pair of socks, and every time I bring some over to work on when we visit, she's fascinated with them. So I really wanted to make her a pair. So this was also gifted yarn from Leslie. She gave me 2 skeins of this. This is the Patent Croy in the color, I think this is teal turquoise jacquard. I have 2 skeins of this, so I'm working simultaneously, or in tandem, or whatever they call that. So I've finished 1 cuff. So this is a fingering weight yarn. I'm just doing like a medium size 64 stitches, and I have done these. I am basing, I wanted them to be kind of ankle socks because I want them done quickly before Christmas. And I've done ankle socks for me, but my foot is much smaller than theirs, and my legs are much smaller because I'm shorter. So I knew the measurements weren't going to be what I typically do for me. So I went searching on Ravelry, and I found, I think it's called Basic Ankle Sock or something, from Lindsey Miller, who I did not know at the time till I started reading through the pattern, is Lindsey from Always Yarn First. I will link her podcast channel. And so it is a free pattern on Ravelry. So I think it's okay to give information away. I'm just doing, which I think she called for 15 rounds, I think, of the, 15 rounds of a 2x2 rib. And then, so I have finished that cuff, and then I barely started the second one. And I did that on purpose because we have errands to run over the next few days. And I thought this is the project I would take with me and work while we're out. They are in tandem, magic loop, size 1, 2.25 millimeter needles. Yeah, not really else to tell about that. Hopefully it'll go super quick. So if you watched my last video, I had all these things I wanted to do, and my plans didn't really work out that way, but they've worked out better than I thought. I don't remember if it was in a comment section of a podcast episode I watched, or if I read it somewhere on a Ravelry thread. I cannot remember, but basically someone said that they were having no new needles November, and I was like, oh, I really like that. So I was like, I'm going on a complete cast-on-itis. So before the end of October, I'm casting on everything I want, and then I can say no new needles in November. And kind of work that way, but not really. I'm really going to try hard. There's maybe one thing I want to cast on, maybe a few, I don't know. Y'all don't hold me to this. I mean, because we know that's not going to happen. But, oh, I know. Last video too, I mentioned that I wanted to start a crochet Christmas blanket with all that mistletoe yarn from Red Heart I think I'm going to hold off on that and just, I think I'm going to try to make a blanket on my central machine. I know, I was watching videos, and the only thing I'm not super crazy about is, in order most people to keep it from rolling, they're making the tubes, like however many tubes you want, however long, and sewing them together. I'm not crazy about tubes. So what I want to do is, there's a way to flat panel, which I have not done, but I want to flat panel a blanket and then do like a crochet border on it in order to make it lay down so that it's not rolling. In my mind, that should work. And I think that would be so cool, y'all. Like, this, yeah, I think so. So we'll see, but I'm going to leave that project. And I'm only mentioning that now because I've already mentioned it in a previous video. I think I'm going to hold off on that till sometime in the new year and do that. I think this is my last project, actually. Yes, this is my last project. I also did not get my weekender cast on, and I may still end up doing that because I really want that one. But it starts with a tubular cast on, and I could not get the hang of that, so I didn't count it as cast on until I'm just playing around trying that, figuring out how to do that. I'm sure I've done it before, but it's not quite making sense in my mind right now. So, but I did cast on Birdie's Sparkle Flax DK from tincanknits, and I'm putting the notes and everything on Ravelry, but as far as the pattern, I have it on the tincanknits app, and y'all, that's a game changer. If that makes me want to make more tincanknit patterns just so I can use the app. I don't know if that makes sense, but that is really neat. You put in whatever pattern you're using from them. I don't think you can add outside patterns, but so for example, with this one, I titled it, you know, Birdie Sparkle DK Flax. And when you put the pattern on there, which is a free pattern, you put the size that you're making, and it does all the measurements for you, and it only includes that size. So you don't have to print it out, highlight sizes, nothing like that. And it gives you all the options you can do. Really, really like that one. So, so I've started hers. I am making the 4 to 6 size. I am using Lion Brand Mandala in the color Draco. This is the second ball I have, or cake. The other one's already in a ball because it got into a big mess. So, but it has lots of sparkle. Although I asked her, I said, "Do you think it'll be sparkly enough?" And she said no. She said, "Can you put glitter on it?" It's like, no, we're not doing glitter. I think it was her that asked about glitter. I think it was. Anyway, so I'm using the recommended needle sizes, which is, I believe it's, you start off with, let's just go through everything. You start off with the neckline. I just did, you can either choose to start with the ribbing or go back to the knitting after everything else is done. And I chose just to start with ribbing. It is a 1x1 rib. Let's see, the neck, I think it was done in a maybe size 4 needle, which would be like 3.5 millimeter, I believe. Yes, it is a 3.5 millimeter because I've since lost my other one. I was using interchangeables, and I've already lost I lost one. I don't know if it fell out of the bag somewhere or what, but anyway. So start with the neckline. I did all the increases. I have just split for the sleeves, so just barely. I decided to not do the what do you call it, short row shaping. I decided not to do that and just have the front and the back be the same. So now I am just in the midst of the body. She chose to have this little butterfly progress keeper I got from Monarch Yarns. So I'm going to mark it right here. This is where we are, so that next time we can see how much progress I've made. Let me go ahead and do that so I don't forget, because I'll be like, why is this marker here? Okay, so let's put this in real fast here. Okay, although it's upside down. Dang darn did it. There we go. Okay, so that's where our progress will start from. It's that little Monarch yarn. So, and then I'm not going to, I've already decided in my mind that this is what I have left of the first cake. So I've got this color, and then it goes to kind of, it starts going to pink, and then a dark pink, and then maybe back to a purple. I can't remember, but there's really not that much of this ball left. I think once I come to the end of it, I'm going to go ahead and do the sleeves. I'm not going to worry about color changes or, you know, trying to make it match. Nothing like that. I'm just going to let the yarn do the work, and everything's going to be you know, straight easy. And I also thought, and here's why I said I might cast on more projects. They have a worsted weight DK. I'm sorry, worsted weight flax. That's what it's called. A DK. Oh, goodness, I am just so confused today. So Tin Can Knits has a worsted weight version of the flax. And I have 2 skeins of, no. You know what? Disregard that, because I decided to make a cardigan. Disregard. But, oh, no. Okay. Okay. Now I need to rewind my mind. That's what Birdie says. Okay. So I want to make a matching one. I don't think it'll be done by Christmas, but I have some Joanne, what is that yarn called? Is Joanne brand like Best Value or something? Whatever the Joanne brand is, I have this really pretty blue. So it would be, I thought it would be fun to have not the same colors, but the same pattern. So I may cast me on one of those, since this is really fast and works up really easily. So, or is really easy and works up fast. So I think that's what I might do. I think that would be so cute. Let's see, do I have anything else? I don't think I have anything else to show. I feel like I talked really fast and this was a really quick episode. I think that's it. Yeah, okay. I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else. If I remember during editing, I will come back. But anyway, I hope y'all are doing fabulous. I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment and a like if you have gotten this far. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.